Hi, so today we are going to discuss about that should AI get legal rights in India, or let us pose it as another question to be that can a robot become a citizen of India? Now imagine this, that an AI system is writing judgment, right, that we all know that somewhere or the other the advocates and the lawyers are doing. It is predicting crimes, it is predicting the behaviors, and it is also driving cars, as we all know that in China, it's very easy to do that, right? Now let's say tomorrow that AI commits or causes any type of a harm. The question lies is that who shall be responsible? Will it be the programmer? Will it be the company? Or will it be the AI itself? Now, on this, we have a bigger question that comes is that if AI can think, if AI can learn, and if AI can decide, should it also be getting the legal rights in India? Today, we are not discussing something very scientific or a very fictional aspect of AI. We are discussing purely the constitutional philosophy. The first question that arises is that what AI is really becoming. So as we know, in today's time, AI is just not merely restricted to giving us calculations or just acting like a calculator. It is generating content, it is recommending bail decisions also in some countries. It is predicting the human behavior, it can be, communicating with animals. It is also creating art and philosophical messages, or let's say political messaging also. So we are entering into an age which is known as autonomous decision making systems. And when we enter into that autonomous decision making system, autonomy increases and law faces a dilemma. Autonomy increases and law faces a dilemma. And what dilemma is it that the law is facing? The law faces the dilemma that whether we should give legal rights to AI or not. So this brings us to another connecting question, and that is, what is a legal person? Now, if we talk about the concept of a legal person in Indian law, then under law, I cannot say that a person is merely a human being. It is just restricted to a human. In India, we say that companies are also legal persons. Trusts are also given legal entities. Even idols in temples have been given legal personality by courts. Recently, Uttarakhand High Court gave Ganga and Yamuna the status, or they were briefly granted the legal personhood by Uttarakhand High Court, which was later on state. So legally speaking, personhood is a legal fiction, right? Which brings us to the most controversial question, that if corporations can be persons, then why not AI? So here lies the major difference, that corporations are usually governed by humans, and when I talk about AI, AI acts in a very unpredictable manner. This brings us to another concept of the accountability gap. Now here lies the real issue. First of all, we have to understand what is accountability gap. So suppose an autonomous car kills someone, or an AI medical system gives a very wrong decision or a dangerous diagnosis, or let's say an AI military drone makes a very lethal mistake. The question is, who will be responsible? Now, under the current Indian law, the liability is fixed on the manufacturer, the programmer, the operator, and the company. But as AI becomes self-learning and less predictable, we enter into what the scholars are calling as the accountability gap, right? So if so, human directly controls the final decisions, should AI bear the responsibility? But if AI is bearing the responsibility, then does that mean that it should also have rights? This we can connect it in a very constitutional perspective or in a very constitutional aspect. Okay, so let's talk about Indian Constitution. Let's talk under Article 14 and under Article 21. That is 14, that is equality before law, and Article 21, which says that right to life and personal liberty. Both of these provisions are dealing with persons. And as I told you before, a person is just not restricted to be as a human. So, does the Constitution imagine non-human intelligence? The answer is absolutely not. Fundamental rights are somewhere or the other grounded in human dignity, moral agency, consciousness, and social contract. And AI does not have dignity, AI is not suffering, and AI does not possess what we call as morality or ethics. So granting AI rights, if we grant AI any kind of rights, it may somewhere or the other dilute the human rights. And that is a serious constitutional concern. Globally, this debate is also going on, and the European Union debates AI regulation strictly through accountability and not rights. No major democracy has granted AI any kind of legal right. Even discussions on issues like electronic parenthood, right? It has, personhood has granted a very, very big criticism from the people. So globally, the question is that the European Union also debates AI regulations strictly through the means of accountability and not through rights. So it is talking about accountability and not rights. On the other hand, no major democracy has granted any kind of legal rights to the AI. Thirdly, even discussions on, let's say, electronic personhood have faced a very massive criticism. And the question is why? First of all, because giving rights means standing in the court. And secondly is, let's say AI is standing in the court and AI is filing a petition under, let's say, Article 32. The Constitutional Remedies Act. It may sound a little absurd today, but maybe in 20 years it may not. So the danger of granting the rights to the AI is that, first of all, companies may get away with their responsibility or their liability, and secondly, human victims may somewhere or the other struggle a lot for justice. And also it may focus on, let's say, the powerful aspects of the companies, right? So instead of granting legal rights to AI, the smarter approach should always be to regulate the developers, right? So law has to build and has to be built upon human dignity. Law is to be built on human dignity. Technology is to be built on the capability or the capacity of the person, right? And the day we start intermeddling with these two things, or we just try to mash these things up, then it becomes a very big problem or a question mark for a democracy. And once this line is blurred, then constitution or, let's say, democracy may change forever. So because the future of democracy may not just be political, it can also be artificial. So at this point of time, it becomes really important to understand the concept of AI and the implications it has when it comes to the legal aspects.